Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Storm Collectibles Darkstalkers MORRIGAN figure, which is one that I've been pretty excited for. I like some Darkstalkers designs. Never played the game, but I love the character designs, and they go in nicely with Street Fighter, so I'm really looking forward to them doing more. I don't know if they're going to after this release. I don't know, are people still buying this? Like, there's one or two serious problems with this release. So we'll do a question of the day, because I'm guessing you've heard about it. If you haven't heard about it, then you can just wait until we do the review. But if you have, are you still interested in this release? Or is it just so weird? Which I'm guessing you guys have noticed one really weird thing about it. But anyway, there's some stuff that's actually excellent on this figure. Like, in some ways, it's one of their best. But in other ways, it's one of the worst by far. So it's like, what the heck? What the heck? But let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. Standard Storm packaging, very nice, except for the fact that they cut this off, which maybe that's how it is in like the character select screen or something. But it looks weird on the package, so just don't do that. Don't go that option, if you ask me. On the side, you get some artwork. That looks like Udon artwork, if I had to guess. Shows her physique fairly well. She's a little slender there. Not always as slender as that. Here's another option. And then here's the figure on the back. So the colors are really subdued. Alright, well, we'll talk about it. So there's the packaging. Maybe not one of their best, but it is Storm packaging. Okay, so this figure is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. She stands 7 1/4 inches. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to get one. That's going to make her about 18.75 centimeters. There she is up against Darwin. And I didn't think to grab her counterpart. Maybe I'll find him and put him in a photo. But there you go, that's her size. And so let's go ahead and just do a question of the day. Another one. What the heck? That's the question of the day. What the heck happened here? Did they follow the McFarlane Catwoman style of sculpting to make this? What the flippin' heck? This is heckin' weird. I mean, okay, so alright, let's just get into it, I guess. So this whole region right here is pretty chunky. Her thighs and butt, pretty damn chunky. I don't think they're that big that they couldn't have been salvaged by not having them spread so far apart. Like, there's a good sized thigh gap in there. And the way they did the diaper and everything, this region is just crazy, like insane. I don't know. It's crazy. It's nuts. I can't get over how goofy that looks and that they actually produced it. Storm generally makes pretty good figures with some weird issues. Sometimes. What the flippin' heck is that? I can't get over it. This is one of the most strange, inexplicable things I've ever seen on an action figure. It's so crazy to me. So if you squeeze the legs in and make the diaper a whole different shape altogether, it looks fine, I think. But the diaper going up to the rib cage and then also going down over these giant wide set legs, it's just nuts. I can't like, you're probably thinking, hey, all right, move on. I can't. This is nuts. Now the good thing is you can hide it somewhat imposing. So like, wow, look at that. From the back, it even shows you, like, holy crap, her cheeks should be on the diaper. They're not. That's so weird. Anyway, you can kind of hide it. Like right here, you don't even notice it. So the good thing is you might be able to hide it in a way that it looks good enough on your shelf, and if you really wanted a MORRIGAN figure, then you're probably going to be willing to do that. But let's go ahead and talk about the other things in this figure that are good. First of all, the paint job is nice. It's a nice flat finish. There's some shading in the skin tones and in the hair and in the wings and stuff, and it looks really, really nice from a painting perspective. One weird thing is, and maybe this is a thing, like I said, I didn't play the game, you don't see the bats on her pants on this side at the bottom, but on this side you do. So I don't know, maybe that's the way it is, or maybe they're just supposed to put her in the P1 position, but that's a thing. But yeah, the paint job's really, really nice. This figure's gorgeous, other than when it's not. Oh, also her face is super weird. Now, it's not as weird as it was in the promo shots, but it is super weird. It's not what I would make her look like at all. But the skin tone for the chesticles and whatnot, it's actually very, very nicely done. It's shaded well. It's painted well enough. It's a nice flat finish. It's pretty good. The sculpt is good. Her little furry thing right here is well done. It moves well. Like, everything about this figure, even the face, is at least acceptable to really good, except for this region right here, which is just, it's really, really bad. So, aesthetically, it would be like a 9 out of 10 if they just gave her normal looking hips and legs. But they didn't, so I'm going to knock it down to a 6, because there's still a lot that's actually really good, and if you can hide that, like from an angle, like a 3/4 stance, it's not terrible, you're fine. But holy crap, I can't express enough how weird it is, especially in person. Like, on the photos it was weird enough, but it's nuts. Now, here's another thing, accessories. They kill it with accessories, and I keep hearing a lot of people say, well, if they're releasing the arena figures for $27, have they been ripping us off with the other ones? No. No, these figures are way bigger than the arena figures, and they come with way more stuff. So let's look at it. For faces, we have 4 different faces, which are really heads minus the hair. Plenty of options there. And then you have a total of 4 different hair options as well. So that's a ton. You get interchangeable feet for her one attack, or maybe there's more than one, I don't know. And that's pretty cool. You get a whole bunch of different hands, and you get this really cool bat effect part, which is very nicely done, and a little stand for him. That's a ton of accessories that are all really nicely executed. So yeah, you're getting a lot more with these full-scale Storm figures than you are going to get in the arena line. Okay, so aesthetics really good other than the hip area, which the more you look at it, the less weird it looks, but it's still super weird. Don't let your eyes adjust to it. That is crazy. Okay, so good accessories, good aesthetics other than the hips. Can it pose? Well, yes and no. They didn't cut out the hair enough at all. Like, this is a normal look for her, the straight down hair, but also that's a drawing, and on a figure we need room, so they didn't give you any room for the bat wings, so that's super unfortunate. So what I'm going to do is just pop the hair off. I think I can just pop the hair off, right? Should. Yeah. Alright, so I'll pop that off to show you the articulation. Alright. Okay. So we have the double ball peg, and it should have the neck that moves. Yeah, so she can lean her neck. It's a stiff enough ball peg that works, and that actually works really nicely. And you get really organic looking posability there. It's going to be kind of a hassle to do, but it can work. So the head works nicely, nice enough. Like, it's not the craziest range, but it's pretty good. And then having the neck that can flex is really nice also. So other than the hair being in the way, the head is good. I want to move on to the bat wings because I was actually really surprised at how well these are executed. We have a ball hinge in here, ball hinge in here, ball hinge in here, and they just move around really nicely. However you want to move them, they can move. I mean, within reason. And you can just pull them out back, I guess, for the hair, but the hair still gets in the way a lot. So just be aware of that. Now for the shoulders, they're standard Storm shoulders. The little cap piece is, basically not necessary on this figure because it doesn't do much. This piece is soft, it moves around, but of course it's gonna limit posabilities to some degree, which I'm guessing is why the shoulders don't even have that much baked in. But it's still fine, like you still get up to horizontal and you're still gonna be able to rotate forward. They did a decent job with this piece. I don't know if it'll tear or pop out if you keep forcing it, but she can pose pretty well. Even with these. Can it just pop off? I don't want to try. It looks like it's glued in. But yeah, it works pretty well. So I'll take it. Bicep swivel's in there, double jointed elbows in there, wrists have ball hinges. So she's going to pose fine up there. Let's see about this diaphragm joint, because the way they did this is also crazy. You don't ever want to cut it right under the boobs like that, but it works here. In the front, in the back not so much. I would have cut the chest cut way lower and put this cut way lower also. You should have this cut. You see how this looks weird here? I'm guessing a lot of people saw that it looked weird without knowing why exactly. And that's because the ribs aren't moving. These are the ribs sticking out here on either side of the heart. Now, I'm guessing they did this because of the heart, but it does look weird, and I think they could have figured out a better way. If you cut the joint under the ribs, it actually poses better and looks better. But this does function well enough as is, so I'll give it to them. Like, it functions really well. It just looks kind of weird at certain angles, so you're going to have to try to hide that. Now, for the lower part, I would have cut this so much lower, like way down here. Like, this is way too much of this and not enough of, like, the lower abdomen. They gave her a huge crotch area. Like, the whole area under my thumb is way too big. Her abs should come down farther. And that's where it should be cut. It should be cut right. You can see where the dip is, really. That's where it should be cut. Anyway, let's see what kind of functionality it has. it's okay, except it's way too high up. It's way too high up, and the diaper is too, so it doesn't really work that well. So that sucks. Man, this is crazy. It's so weird looking. Alright, so wow, it even gets worse when you pose her. The joints are way too high up too. She does get good range, but damn, what a shame. That is really, really weird. Let's see about going forward. Oh no. Can we just... So if you force it to flex that way, I guess it's better than stretching it. But no, this is just... Man, this hip area is so screwed up, and her hips are so high. That's just a shame. Thigh swivel is in there, that's okay. Double jointed knees are okay. And then the ankles... Just... Are they... I guess they're ball hinges. They're a little bit weirder than normal, but pretty functional. I'll take it. Like, they don't have the best range, but it's okay. The toe hinge is not great, but with heels, I'll let it slide. So yeah, this figure would be totally acceptable / good if it wasn't for the hips. The hips are just nuts. Now, if you put her in a quarter view pose on your shelf and don't turn at all, it's going to be okay. But holy crap, that is easily one of the strangest, weirdest things I've ever seen, and it doesn't even make sense because she's not that kind of thick. That's not really a thing for her. Like, sure, sometimes, but look front to back, she's slender. That matches all of the artwork I'm familiar with. That is nuts. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't stop commenting on how weird it is, but articulation-wise, other than the hips, which are still kind of technically functional enough, it's like an 8 or a 9. It poses pretty well given the character design, but all included, I'm going to say 7. And now it's time for the final verdict. This figure is one... Oh yeah, the wings would actually be worse when they're out like that, so yeah, that doesn't work for the hair. I'm gonna say this figure is more of a miss than I want it to be for sure. There's still a lot to like about it. I can't get it in. It's so good in some ways. It's such a shame that it's so bad in others. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be real subjective about this one. If you really wanted a MORRIGAN figure, there is enough here that's really good. For sure. The bad stuff is crazy bad, but I think you'll be able to live with it and hide it. Objectively, it's egregious. It's kind of a deal breaker. So I'll do an objective rating and a subjective one. Subjective, if you want it, you can look past the hips. It's like a 9. There's enough that's awesome about it. Including the hips, though, I'm knocking it down to a 5 or a 6. They're just way too crazy. That is nuts. Like Cammy, if they ever do a Cammy, she better look like that, only better, because this isn't good. But even Chun-Li didn't have legs like that. What the heck? Okay, I'm done. That's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.